Karate Master. Oh yeah. Yeah, Karate Master. Oh. Karate Master's out.
By the end, we're going to decide which style of combat is superior to dominate in a self-defense scenario. Comment down below which martial art you train. I'm very curious. Starting with grappling, judo, this includes BJJ, this includes wrestling, etc. Control and restraint. Grappling techniques allow for control over an opponent without necessarily causing injury compared to punching and elbowing. This can be crucial in situations where de-escalation is preferred over causing harm. The next good point is grappling is effective at close range. So this isn't going to work if you're squared up with somebody who knows how to strike, because you can be the best grappler in the world. If they pop you good in the chin, you're done.
You try to go straight to a throw, like, yeah, that's going to happen, or like knee to the face or something if I try. You're going to get hit, most likely.
However, you got to remember, 99.9% of people in the world don't even work out, yet alone know how to fight. So most fights are going to end up with your opponent getting super close to you, allowing you to grab them, getting your hips in, throwing them on the floor, onto concrete, busting their back, and if they're not finished by then, you can just put them in an arm lock or pin them until they just gas out, until the cops arrive or something. Point number 3, grappling allows you to subdue larger opponents with proper technique, that is. Grappling arts, for example, like BJJ, emphasize leverage and technique over strength. The same goes for judo, making it possible to subdue larger opponents, okay? These martial arts are all about momentum, using your opponent's strength against them, all about having a smaller opponent being able to dominate a larger opponent with proper technique. So that's why technique is always important over strength and size when it comes to judo and other forms of grappling. Neutralizing weapons. So for the rare instance that you're going against somebody who might have a knife or a gun, if you know how to do proper wrist locks and arm controls and stuff, you can actually control your opponent by the arm, which will cause him to let go of whatever weapon he has, getting your hips in, throwing him to the ground, putting him in an arm bar, and just controlling him. So based off of all of those points, we're going to start to make our decision. Now, moving on to striking. You can quickly incapacitate your opponent for a swift escape. Techniques from boxing to Muay Thai and other forms of striking can deliver powerful blows. And like I said in the beginning, if you can pop somebody really good in the chin, whether it's with a flying knee, an elbow, a head kick, or a nice right cross, or even a jab, that's all you need to just knock them out super quickly and get out of there. No need for unnecessary drama, cops, lawsuits, etc. I'm not condoning violence, guys, but in the event that your life is being threatened, I would condone self-defense. With great power comes great responsibility. If you have the power and skill of self-defense mastery, every good martial artist knows not to use this in forms of abuse. No, we only use this to protect ourselves and the people we love. The next point is distant management. Striking allows for keeping opponents from a distance, especially if you're tall and you got long arms, you got a very superior range, you can keep them away from you with your jabs. This is ideal, especially if they have a weapon. You can keep your distance also with your kicks. With your leading kick, if you're orthodox or southpaw, depending which position you are, you can really keep your distance, kicking them and stuff. This will reduce the risk of getting grabbed, getting knifed, getting taken down. Maintaining distance is key for avoiding harm. The next point is versatility in multiple opponent scenarios. If you're getting ganged up on, or if it's like a 2 or 3v1. In situations involving multiple attackers, if you're a good striker, what you could do, for example, is you could grab one guy, control the head, and kind of use him as a barrier, maybe knee him in the face a couple times to the point where he's kind of like dozing off. And you can use him as a barrier and find an opening where you can push that guy onto the rest of the people to distract them, then you run for it. That would be the smartest thing in my opinion, because you can't fight 3 people versus 1. This isn't Karate Kid where Jackie Chan was fighting all those kung fu students from the Cobra Kai thing. Yeah. Imagine if you had both. Basically, you were a mixed martial artist. If you were well-rounded in grappling and striking, like a UFC fighter, bro, you would be, and on top of that, you have like a shredded physique and you're strong, you would be invincible. You would not fear anything. You could kill somebody with just a flick. Imagine not even having to get your hands dirty. You can just pop somebody in the jaw and it's done. Or if they're like a bigger opponent and it's harder to punch them or whatever, and they get a grip on you, you can just get them with a nice little sotogari or some form of leg sweep or something, get them on the ground, and just keep them down there pinned until they gas out and they give out. It is very important to train both if self-defense is something you're worried about. Personal and situational factors. So obviously the more fit you are, the more cardiovascular strength you have and muscular strength and endurance you need, correct? Over strength and size. Anybody who's got technique is always going to beat the guy who's bigger and stronger who's got no technique. However, if you have both, if you have the technique and you're strong and you're fit, then you're going to be better than the guy who's just got the technique. Absolutely. So that's one factor you got to keep in mind. That's also going to prevent people from wanting to mess with you in the first place. If you look physically scary and superior, nobody's going to want to pick a fight for you. It reminds me of that clip of Jay Waller where he said he was leaving a party and he was alone. It was at night in the city, and he saw like 3 sketchy looking dudes that were looking at him. They're trying to size him up, that they wanted to probably mug him or something, but he was wearing a nice tight suit, right, that was hugging his sleeves and making his musculature very visual. And those 3 troublemakers kind of reconsidered their decision of trying to rob him. So guys, that's why I stress the importance of not only being well versed in your martial art, but also work out, gain some muscle, wear well-fitted clothes, so whenever you're alone and you're in a situation, you never really know what's going to happen. Work out, guys. If you are a grappler and you are working a 9-to-5 job and you just don't have the time and the knowledge, and you've been struggling with your diet, your discipline, your workouts, but you want to get a fighter's physique, you want to be more effective on the mat, and you want to find a way and a routine to get you there quicker without burning yourself out throughout your busy schedule, you're in luck, because I will post my one-on-one coaching link down in the pinned comments and the description. So apply and see if we are a good fit to work together. Environment for grappling, especially for the judo guys or the wrestlers. If you're fighting somebody in the concrete and you can throw them, don't hold them on their way down. Don't hold their arm like in judo we hold the sleeve hand. Don't hold that arm. So if you throw him and you just let them go, they'll either land on their head, their elbow, their back, their knee. That will hurt them. They're not going to be getting back up. You won't even need to worry about continuing to fight an armbar or a pin. They're done, trust me. If you got concrete on your side,
like judo's an incredible
plus concrete.
That's the worst place to be, with a heavy winter jacket with a judo specialist and you're standing up with them. Oh my god.
Then you're good. But if you're fighting like on the grass or maybe in a park where there's turf or like, you know, spongy ground, it's probably not going to be as effective. But concrete is your best friend in a judo self-defense scenario, grappling self-defense scenario. But maybe not so much for jiu-jitsu, because you're gonna hurt yourself when you're getting on the ground and trying to move. So it's best to just learn some takedowns for in the event that you are in some concrete with somebody who's trying to start something with you. So as I promised in the beginning, at the end of the video, we're gonna decide which style of combat is superior. Largely, it does depend on your individual athleticism, what you prefer, what you're better at, what you're just better used to. Because if you've been training boxing for a while, obviously that's going to be your best bet. If you've been training judo for a while, is your best bet. Jiu-jitsu, same thing, wrestling, etc. But for somebody who has never trained a martial art before, for a self-defense scenario, I'm going to go with grappling. Simply because the fact that 99%, these aren't actual stats, but most people in the world don't even work out, yet alone know how to fight. Too lazy to even get themselves to take some martial arts classes. So you don't got to worry about taking a punch to the face, as long as you obviously keep your hands up, protect the jaw, protect your temples. Most guys are going to try to get a grip on you, and boom, from there, just pivot your body, get your hips in, take them down to the ground.
Judo is far more effective, because judo involves people grabbing people and flipping them and slamming them on the ground.
And if you got concrete on your side, you ain't got to worry about it. They ain't getting up. But if not, pin them down, get them in an arm lock or choke, and wait till they give out and just get out of there. Call the cops, whatever you got to do. And you reduce risk of injury, getting your nose busted, busting your teeth, cutting your face from punching. If they got any weapons, you can easily neutralize that. Because most people that are going to fight you on the street are out of shape people, hobos, drug addicts, drunks, they're going to be super uncoordinated. If they have a weapon, you can just kick it out of their hands like Bruce Lee. Just grab that arm, position yourself nicely, get your hips on and throw them. Boom. Watch this video where I compare and contrast which grappling art is better, judo or wrestling. I will see you there. It's a good one.